Let's go!
This can't be what it's all cracked up to be.
Brady has it, throwing, touchdown!
We continue our Tom Brady Super Bowl series with a breakdown of the Panthers' triumph, another 300-plus yard gain. You see him here with a ridiculous throw on the end breaker to Branch. So in the very next play, there was a Kev Falk handoff for 5 yards, and the Patriots having some running game really helped out versus probably, arguably, the best defensive line that Brady played in any Super Bowl. There were 3 Pro Bowlers on that line. Chris Jenkins, you get a cut block here on Julius Peppers, and you take a look at the actual route combinations. The Patriots are really good at this. Trips bunch, you run a vertical and a stop right behind it. So that play action fake you could see really bites those linebackers, which increases the space. It is really, really, really sexy stuff. And it's easy pitch and catch football in this game, and you get a broken tackle right there from Brown. This drive ended with a missed field goal attempt. On first down, Brady threw it away because there was too much pressure. And then on second down, Brady could see pre-snap that this was a 4-man rush. And you could see that this honestly isn't the worst protection versus Julius Peppers, but it's not the best. This pocket is very much collapsed. Brady probably should have just worked this check down to make it a more manageable third. This is not a good throw into double coverage.
I went to Michigan. Now I play for New England.
So one weird Brady Super Bowl legacy was how bad New England's offenses were in the first quarter. So we move ahead here. There was actually 2 punts sandwiched in between this next drive that you are witnessing. We get to this 3rd and 2. This is probably Brady's most underrated play when it comes to a play not counting because of a penalty. So Chris Jenkins very clearly jumps off sides, so it's an automatic first down. But guess what? It's a free play. So Brady rolls out after that, and watch him step up in to the space right here. And look at this ball location after the pump. I mean, this is redunculous that Brady got this football right there. That is just stupendous. So you normally don't think of Tom Brady as a rollout quarterback, but what you do is you get a good route runner with the leverage advantage motioning out here, and guess what? They rolled out, hit Troy Brown on a nice little quick out, and guess what? They do it again here. So Brady pump fakes, and honestly, this is a bad pump fake. This ball should have been ripped now with some anticipation, but Brady waits for it to be wide open, so it really needs to be fired in there, and it's a good throw, but more so a great play call, and that is an easy first down pickup. There was a 4th and 1 conversion that could have gone either way. It went the way of the Patriots after a challenge. So we get to a play later in the drive, and it goes to show you that Brady to start some Super Bowls was jittery. So you can see that this out and up is open. It could be ripped, but you can see Brady's footwork is still kind of jittery here, and you'll see that he overshoots Deion Branch, who has a step on the out and up. Now, he does stumble a little bit there, but Brady does overshoot him. I know it's kind of blurry from this deep all-22 view, but, man, that would have been nice. Okay, there's nothing else you can really say about this next play other than it really is a big drop by Chris Givins. Tom back in the pocket. I mean, this honestly is just really good quarterbacking. And look at where he actually fires his football away from this defender. And it's just a drop right there by Givins, and you have to kick a field goal. So Vinatieri misses another field goal. There is a strip sack, though, and the Patriots get the football back in really, really good field position. Okay, so it's 3rd and 6, and guess what? The Panthers do something that Brady has crushed time in and time out, a 3-man rush. If you're going to only rush 3, you've got to make sure that one of the rushers stays central, right? Because you don't want to leave a wide open alley for Brady to step up into, or in this case, run, right? In our last hour-long breakdown, versus the Eagles, Brady should have done more of this, and he's able to pick up the first down. Now, a more nimble quarterback is probably making the safety miss and scoring, but he did enough right there to move the chains. And this is what killed the Panthers, all right? Just simple play action RPO football. Now, this isn't an RPO. This is just a simple play action fake, but this is a basis of pretty much every college passing attack of the modern day, which is read the safety, throw the glance, slant, okay? And you could see that what makes this play really sexy is this right here from Deion Branch. This is very nuanced because you could see he looks like he's coming down to block this linebacker on a little trap play, but instead he's actually going behind him, and this corner is just letting him go. There's no safety help over the top, and this is just simple pitch and catch football. So, man, that is so easy. So Steve Smith scores a touchdown. Pre-snap, Carolina shows too high, but watch, this safety creeps into the box, and Tom could see that this is cover 3. This corner bails so far back in a very conservative defensive alignment. Tom is able to see that, and then he knows the deep out right here to Givins is going to be wide open. Once again, Tom, very compact with his release. Mechanics are absolutely perfect, and bang, look at that ball location. 2nd and 10 after the first down, and this is just ridiculous from this pass protection. So they bring a slot corner blitz. Tight end stays in to protect it, and the rollout here just buys extra time. Nobody's getting off blocks. And guess what? Tom has perfect, copious amount of time to crow hop into a deep ball right here that actually wasn't the best thrown ball, but it does hit him right in the chest. If it leads him a little better, you might be able to score, but still, it's good quarterbacking, and Branch gets another big one. So Brady in the red zone was brutal in this Super Bowl. He missed David Givins in the back right corner of the end zone for an easy touchdown on first down. It was a little bit tough. It was like a smash-ish concept. The corner broke off of it late, whatever. But then you get this, right? 2 really good Brady reps in a row. And this one is actually the very, very, very good one. You get very good protection, and Tom actually kind of ran into this protection. So this isn't good pocket presence. You can see Tom kind of stepped into Julius Peppers here, but he does eventually reset and find an open receiver. And look at him firing this ball in, bang, hitting Givins right in the chest for a first down. And then guess what? You're going to get deja vu here, everyone. The Patriots run the same play for a touchdown. So you act like you're blocking, and then you release to the back of the end zone. You can see the corner even gets baited by it when that receiver just stops. And Tom, easy pitch and catch touchdown right there. Bang to Givins, the pride of Notre Dame. You're about to see Brady make an absolutely ridiculous play. And speaking of ridiculous, shout out to our friends at Fast Draft Fantasy, presenting partners of our Brady Super Bowl breakdown videos. Please go sign up today. Promo code Carter for a deposit match bonus up to $50, where you can be in fantasy drafts that last less than 10 freaking minutes. It's all at Fast Draft Fantasy. Let's freaking go. You can win up to $50K just on one draft. So you can see that the Patriots are running very deep routes. There really is nothing open. I was able to get another angle. And obviously, the great Chris Jenkins, who had 2 first half offsides that extended drives, creates a lot of pressure. And Brady, while he's falling down, is able to flip this to the reliable Kevin Falk. And guess what? Boom. He gets tackled short of the line to gain. Belichik, who is a conservative coach, decides to not go for it on 4th and inches. Patriots punt. All right, Patriots up 14-10, late third quarter. Let's shout out this pass protection. So they are running twist stunts right here, and watch how both of these get picked up. This is Andruzzi, one of my favorite Pats, number 63, putting his body on the line, picking up that twist, and then this twist gets picked up. But guess what? It wouldn't have mattered because Tom sees how far back this safety is, and he sees that this corner has outside leverage on this inbreaker. So Tom sees it. He sees it that safety is too far back. And this catch is actually very underrated because that ball almost got deflected. And, man, it's just really good offense. All right, this is just beautiful stuff. So they hit Deion Branch on an outcut. Then there was a holding penalty, and it sets up the 2nd and 12. So the Patriots had saw that the Panthers had been running a lot of split field coverages. So how do you attack split field coverages? Right up the middle, but what makes this really sexy is you do it out of a play action fake, and you're actually throwing the football to the tight end, right? The Patriots had not really thrown the football to the TE in this game. They didn't have Rob Gronkowski quite yet. And guess what? Brady sees 82 streaking down the middle of the field. Bang. See how that split field safety, they were playing the receivers, hit them right in stride, and you are in the red zone. More sexy play calling to the tight end, Christian Fourier right here. I think maybe a Patriot fan could correct me. I think he's a radio host now in Boston. But the motion is really, really good stuff. So what the Patriots are doing are running in-breaker here, tight end, corner of the back of the end zone. Some call this double China 7, okay? And you'll see that Tom sees that this in-breaker isn't here, so he pumps it, and then he sees that this in-breaker isn't here because of the DB right here. So now Tom, the thing about double China 7 is you got to worry about this corner peeling off and then making the pick. So that's why Tom pump faked it to see if this corner was going to sit or float back, and then he actually decides to throw with really good pass protection. And Fourier barely couldn't get that second foot to drag in. They replayed it. He was out of bounds. But there was a hold, so the Patriots are still able to. And as you can see, this right foot gets down, but the left never does. Actually, this should be a touchdown because the ankle is in the end zone. That should have counted, but they called him out of bounds. There was a holding, though, on this play, so the Patriots were able to pound this in anyway. But still, this should have been 6. I think Charlie Weis called a masterful game versus the Panthers. You know, one thing that really stood out about this play is that Julius Peppers was lined up here. He moves to a 3-tech, so he's going up against my guy, Andrewsy, again. And guess what? They're able to stifle him, right? Everything is protected really, really, really well. The second thing they did a good job of was a lot of heavy play action fakes to slow down this pass rush. Third thing, keep spamming the plays that work, which were these in-breakers versus safeties that were playing way too far back. So you see the safety is just so far back, he cannot crash down and make a play on a 15-yard completion. So really good offense. So let's go to the next play. This is just ridiculous play calling yet again. Ridiculous quarterback play. And, man, it really, really, really is sexy. So the Patriots are in 22 personnel, 2 tight ends, 2 running backs, right? A fullback and a running back, so 2 RBs. This is ridiculous stuff. First off, the defensive call is really sexy. I don't remember the Panthers defensive coordinator's name, but this is nasty. So you're bringing a blitzer off the edge, and then the gravity from Julius Peppers opens up an unblocked blitzer from another linebacker. That's Dan Morgan, and bam! Wow. Big shot right there to Tom Brady, and the ball is dropped, okay? But I want you to see the offensive genius of this play. This is practically the same thing that the Patriots have run, but out of a different look. So instead of the tight end running the out, he becomes the clear out. You have a stop being run right behind it with Troy Brown, and then your fullback becomes a flat route. Okay, this is really, really, really high-level stuff. And guess what? The guy you want in this situation more than pretty much any other Patriots wide receiver is Troy Brown in the Super Bowl, and he drops it. And I want you to see this shot, okay? This is roughing the quarterback of the current day and age. Bang, okay? Actually, no, I think that would still be clean in this day. But look, his freaking chin strap is at his eyeballs. I think John Fox watched this film and definitely took away that they were way too safe on the back end, okay? Once again, this is a very exotic defensive call on the front end. You're bringing Morgan on a blitz, and then you're bringing Peppers out of the play, but because your corner is playing so soft, you go back to the reliable Brown, and when you're that soft, there's no point, right? Brown's going to make him miss, and Peppers is able to chase him down and make this tackle, but not after an extra 5 right there. All right, 3rd and 2. What did the Patriots run? Well, the same action that we had been breaking down nonstop. Vertical clear out. This could be a go or a corner. Stop right there from Brown, but this time Brady goes to the flats. Okay, what makes this play possible, though, is Julius Peppers is a freak. There are plenty of instances where he bats it down or catches it and runs for a touchdown. You have to cut his legs so you can have a clear path for the flat route. That cut was really, really, really good. And boom, you hit your tight end right there in the flat. And he hits him so well that he was able to turn upfield and pick up some yards. You've seen the Panthers get torn up on these little quick outs that now, because there's been so many play action fakes with this kind of counter fake action, you're thinking they're actually going to throw, but instead they run. And guess what? This run fit gets out of whack. Nobody's taking the B gap. The safety fills the contain. This linebacker probably should be here, but they instead both go with the contain route. And Kev Falk is going to kill you with this every single time. He's just too smart of a running back. And all those play action fakes can start getting your defense way out of sorts. And Kev takes us all the way down to the table. So I appreciate all the compliments that we have gotten on our Super Bowl breakdowns. We've had one do really, really, really well. All the others, not so much. But look, I have taken some heat for some of my Brady criticisms. Look, he's the greatest Super Bowl quarterback of all time. But to me, his biggest weakness were the rush lane integrity spots where I think he could have taken advantage of using his legs. Now, once again, I'm not asking Tom Brady to become Josh Allen out of nowhere, but instead of just faking this and eating it and then just running over here, I mean, look at all of this space. If you fake like you're throwing and then run towards the pylon here, you at the very least, in a foot race, at least getting to the 5-yard line here, okay? Now, of course, Julius Peppers is right here, so he probably hawks him down somewhere around there. But I think in this spot, you just have to tuck and go. You're at least getting around him. This DB is going in the opposite direction with this man. This DB actually has his back turned. And honestly, all things considered, this ball wasn't that poorly thrown. And this is how close it actually was. Should it have been caught? No, it's just a little too far. The funny thing is, when you actually break down these Super Bowls, in particular the Weis Super Bowls, he did a really good job of spamming the same plays that worked over and over. Now, remember, earlier we broke down double China 7, in-breaker here, post here. You have to be careful with this cloud corner, all right? This is a really, really, really difficult route concept versus zone, especially with a smart veteran corner with his hips open. So the Panthers see exactly what the Patriots are trying to do. There is some pressure, but Brady kind of floats into it. And then with a guy pretty much right in his face, he floats this ball up, and guess what? Exactly what we warned you against a little bit earlier actually happens. Corner bails out, and he's right there ready for the interception. The whole Brady legacy is completely different if you lose this game, because that really is an all-time bad interception, because you eat that right there, get a field goal, you're up by 8. I mean, it really is a big miss.
I think it's safe to say we've gone a bit overboard.
Now, I can hear out an argument that Brady forced that INT because they had already missed 2 red zone field goals. I can hear that out, but he would probably tell you probably still shouldn't throw that. We start off here with a throw to Kev Falk. Man, oh man. The best quarterbacks in big games are the ones that avoid disaster plays. I understand we just showed Brady throwing a red zone INT. They spook him with the slot corner blitz. It gets home. Brady takes a huge shot, but he just throws his football away. I mean, that is a big play. The Patriots run when you need it. the same thing, all right? It's just a flood concept, basically the same place. Someone takes the flat, get Brown in the intermediate, vertical clear out. Same thing every single time. Panthers could not stop it. And this time, Brown makes a very difficult catch after a pretty good throw right there by Tom, and it's a first down. One of the biggest throws of this game. You lose contain to the right side because you stunt your in to the inside. Tom breaks this contain and finds Givins wide open down the field. This is really good stuff right here by Brady, just feeling this out. And Givins just finds an open spot for a massive gain of yards. And he almost was able to stay in bounds and take that all the way in. So the Rams Super Bowl featured a lot of these layered stutter and go, stop and go types of routes. So this time they roll out and get a tight end to help right here with Peppers, and Tom allows Givins to work on the outside. So we'll pick it up from this angle, and you'll see Givins. It's so weird seeing someone else not named Gronk wearing 87. He runs an out and up, and then he comes back to Tom. All right, it's a long developing play. He pushes that corner off, and he is just right there. Now we get to Tom's final touchdown. This is really intricate. 2nd and goal, play action fake, and the first read of this is actually Richard Seymour, defensive tackle in the flat. Tom doesn't like it, and rightfully so. So what happens here on the backside is you have the leaking tight end. Okay, this is very popular in the modern game. But the leaking tight end is Mike freaking Vrabel, now head coach of the Patriots. And actually, 2 guys were open because the 2 guys guarding these 2 tight ends actually run into each other, and it's an easy pitch and catch for Tom. Wow. So you need a 2-point conversion. What do? Well, a lot of you remember this from the Atlanta Falcons breakdown we did. It's a direct snap to Kev Falk, who just pounds it up in there. Really good blocks up the middle, and he scores.
You got to finish the game. You got me? Regardless of situation.
Patriots have a huge coverage bust yet again, and the Panthers score a quick touchdown. They kick it out of bounds, and now we get to the game-winning drive. And man, oh man, Tom actually starts it off. There is a lot of pressure here, but he probably would have loved to have completed this for an easy first down to Branch. Now, something else that actually happened is there was huge pockets of space throughout this play because you could see the Panthers tried to get exotic. You could see the Patriots get a 2-for-1, so Givins was open, but man, whew. You know, obviously if you're a Panthers fan watching this, it's just tough to see how many pitch and catch completions you gave up versus receivers who aren't really known for burning guys deep. So this looks like a carbon copy of the play you saw earlier, but it's not. It's practically the same thing. Kind of crazy how many non-crazy good throws that were disrupted by penalties or ridiculous defensive plays that have been taken away from Tom in Super Bowls. Pocket is collapsed. Once again, could Tom do a better job of stepping up over here? Sure. But there are 2 guys in his face, basically. Can't fully step into it. They call it BS, offensive pass interference. It wasn't much. I saw another angle, but look at where this ball is placed. Holy crap. It's negated by penalty. Brown 4, as far as a push-off is concerned. I mean, yeah, sure, whatever. 1st and Foxborough here. Such a bizarre play. So it's another one of those little rollout things. And the thing I like about it is you bring in an extra tight end to block Peppers or the other end, and they're stifled. So Tom drops. Holy crap. This is just ridiculous quarterback play, but once again, it's Troy Brown making such a difficult catch. You get this little rollout here to the left. Tom stops and just throws an absolute dart right here to Brown. Now, it takes a lot of courage to throw this ball into the coverage that he threw it into. Still, ridiculous throw, ridiculous catch. So the Patriots smartly elected to not call a timeout. One thing I like about that is there's no way the Panthers can win the game unless you just got an interception, basically. So it really squeezes down this end portion of the game. They run a very simple mesh concept, and they get 82, who played really well in this game, open right there, and they call a quick timeout. So before we show you this unbelievable clutch throw from Tom Brady, let's put this Super Bowl into context. So obviously Tom played 10 of them, and this is the one that is by far talked about the least, right? The Panthers aren't as big of a team as the others that Tom played in other Super Bowls. There wasn't really a legendary coach on the opposite sideline or a legendary QB in Jake Delhomme, but I do think the Patriots had the most to lose from a historical standpoint outside of losing to Eli Manning in an undefeated season, because this game they thoroughly, and I mean thoroughly, dominated. Tom played amazing. Obviously the bad red zone INT, but 345 yards. And overall, they dominated the box score. Also, I felt the Panthers were not all that well coached. And we'll go ahead and let this play out. Tom makes a very nice throw here to Givins. So the Panthers defensive coordinator, Grazabak, or whatever his name is, he's mostly been a defensive line coach throughout his career. And going into the game, he felt good about his defensive line matchup. This was the best defensive line in the NFL that year, going up against his Patriots offensive line. But you notice a lot of pressure was generated through blitzers, and Tom can easily see pre-snap that either one of these backers aren't blitzing. The only guy that he really has to worry about is the slot corner, but he has a tight end out here to potentially pick that up. So what the Patriots said was, look, if you're only going to rush 4, we know Julius Peppers is an absolute beast. We'll just double team him with the tight end, or at least give him a chip on this side. The next thing is, while the Panthers are in press coverage, this is far too conservative, knowing that the Patriots aren't going to go for a kill shot here. Why aren't they going for a kill shot? Well, they just want to get into better field goal range. And guess what play the Patriots decide to run? The same one we've been breaking down, but it's just slightly different. So, deep vertical from Branch, stop from Brown, and obviously a little flat route after the chip on this side. Okay, so Tom sees that the DB right here has inside leverage on Branch. So even though it's cut off here, Tom has to like the corner route to Branch. So Brown runs a stop. And I want you to see what actually happens here defensively. This throw right here also wins the Super Bowl. All right, plenty of time for Tom to hit this check down right here to Kev Falk. It would be a longer field goal, but that is too easy. This is also too easy. This little check down right here, because that also gets him into better field goal range. This also is too easy, as was the case throughout the Super Bowl. The Panthers DBs were just playing way too far back and allowing too many pitch and catch reps. And Tom, of course, smartly calls that timeout, and the Patriots win the Super Bowl. Now, floating in your face, the other Super Bowl breakdowns we've done. Comment down below which one you want to see next, and we'll talk to you soon, okay? It is Power Hour NFL. Boom! And tonight, we are doing Hawaiian chicken. Let's go.